Shit. Nobody pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
Oh,
Nobody.
good, you actually did.
Welcome to Concast, where the fandoms unite, with a Boba Fett swagger and the Jedi's in sight. It's a comic book cocktail, shaken and stirred. We're the coolest cats in the whole nerd herd. Grab your badge and strike.
There we go.
Hey,
That seemed almost semi-professional. Very well done.
I know. I hope somewhere Mikey's rolling over in his slanket or whatever the hell he's got.
I'm sure he may have cussed my name once today already. Anyway, so yeah. No, just as I was looking, I saw here locally. I'll probably mention it later, just because after people chime in. But they are doing a new Shadowcast for Rocky Horror in Wichita. So
what's a Shadowcast?
The Shadowcast is the theater group that performs the show on stage in front of the show, basically.
Okay.
So, like I used to be.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to be part of the Shadowcast playing Riff Raff, and you'd get up and everything was just a little more extreme. You'd be the ones that throw the toast or do the conga line or whatever, that kind of shit. So.
Oh yeah. You have to be the basically the Greek chorus for it.
I would here I got to figure out how to use the new. There we go. The new upgrades here, but I guess it's the same. No, I'd even consider joining Shadowcast, but man, A, I'm too old, and B, I've done so much stuff like that now that I go, I don't know how much I want to do that without getting paid. You know, because
that and you don't want to be the guy there who's like, oh yeah, this is fun, but back when we did it, you don't want to be that guy.
Well, because and it would be that. The last few times I've done Rocky, it's been that way where. Like all the guys from my generation, they're always like up in the balcony in the back, and it's like, oh, those are the cool guys. You'll hang out with them. Most people don't even know they're there, and then you're watching everybody else do it, and you're like, amateurs, lightweights. I call it Rocky Church.
Yeah,
like we did wild, stupid shit. But then if they were doing that wild, stupid shit now, I'd be going like, you shouldn't do that. You're gonna get the theater in trouble. That kind of shit. So
I would just be up there going, don't let anybody film it, but have fun.
Well, it's a hit and miss because back in our Rocky days, like I'm always looking for pictures of us doing it back in the day because the best we had was disposable cameras. You'd take something like that. You wouldn't take a nice camera to Rocky, and we didn't have cell phones. So I'm like, I've probably found maybe 3 pictures of us doing Rocky back in the day, and but then again, I go, well, if we all had cell phones back then, we would have recorded a bunch of, like, I can at least romanticize that, look back at it and go, oh, back in those days, we looked good, we acted good, we were awesome on stage. But if I actually had video of it, I'd probably be
no.
So since there is no evidence that, I can just say we were awesome.
And no one can refute that.
That's right. Well, except for the other people that were there, but
Yeah, but they're part of the lie.
That's right.
Yeah, they've seen the Emperor's New Clothes.
See, oh, sorry, I'm checking what's coming in on my chat here or on my my notification. So how's Daryl doing? We haven't been on for 2 weeks.
Let me see. There was of course we took off before the holiday.
Right.
Yeah, and then last week I was sick, dog sick, like lost weight sick. And now
probably works out because my back literally, as we were getting ready to start podcast last week, and I called you because I hadn't seen your text. My back locked up right here, and that's when my back started hurting.
Oh no!
Yeah, I would have been sitting here in misery. You would have been sick as shit. It would have been miserable.
Oh no! I would have been casting from my bathroom.
Yeah, it's a good thing we didn't do it.
Yeah, yeah. It was not pretty at all. But on the bright side, it wasn't a parasite, so all good. Yeah, I know that for true because I did not consume anything that it even looked like produce, which is where you get the parasite from, and apparently you cannot get the parasite from beer, ribs, and ice cream. So I was good to go.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, beer and ribs sounds good.
It does sound good. I like that sound.
Well, and that's the thing now, being 2 weeks off, we've got plenty to talk about. So that's good. And just this week too, they they made 8 million casting announcements for X-Men and everything else. So I could talk about that for an hour if we wanted.
Oh, there's so much stuff going down. I literally was just trying to pull things out of the news feeds and all the stuff like that, and I'm like, I mean, there's just so much going on. There's so much science stuff going on. I mean, I'm really excited about something that's always pissed me off about fusion reactions and fission reactions, but now they're doing this other thing that's so cool.
See, I feel bad because if somebody came to me on the street and just said, "Tell me what pisses you off about just one thing that pisses you off about fusion reactions," I'd be like,
that it's all steam. All right, that's what irritates me about it is no matter how high tech we get with it's a nuclear reactor, it is still just steam. All right, because what they do is they take the heat generated from either the fission or the fusion, and you know the difference between the two, right? Okay, good.
Sure,
And they would take what?
The spelling.
Yeah, that as well. And they take the heat from that and they use that heat to heat water. All right. And then until it gets hot enough to turn to steam, and then they send it through a steam turbine, and that's what makes the electricity. And so I mean, it's like we can't get away from the 1700s. But now they finally have one company has come out with a new, I think it was fission reactor. No, it was a fusion reactor that they actually use straight from the energy coming off of the fusion reaction straight to powering a light bulb, which there's no steam turbines, none of that stuff like that. They're able to, at what they're claiming is a 90% reclamation rate, be able to get the energy coming off the fusion and turn it directly into electricity, which is going to be phenomenal. So I'm really stoked about that.
So what's that mean? Like, what kind of advancements does that mean for us? Anything?
Well, okay. First off, one good thing about all these data centers. All right. One good thing about all these data centers is the fact that where the Nuclear Regulatory Commission for the longest time has dragged its heels on any kinds of new reactors being built or anything with the fusion, with the fission reactors, which, okay, you have two different types of nuclear reactors. You have the tried and true one that we all know, which is called fission, which is, you have your plutonium and stuff like that. And when electrons come off of it, because it's an extremely unstable element, that's a fission reaction, and it's the heat generated from the fission, which creates the heat in the reactors. But the ones that they're trying to do now are the fusion reactors, which is what happens in the sun, and that's where two hydrogen atoms are put together under such pressure and heat that they form up into a helium atom, and that energy released from that is what powers the sun. And so that's what they've been working on with the tokamak reactors and all the stuff like that, is actually generating power from fusing atoms together, which has the bonus of not really having the radioactive particles left over, which is great. But it's been the longest time getting that to work, and it's only like 3 years ago that they were actually able to get fusion reaction to occur, where they were showing more power coming out of the fusion reaction than what they had to put into the fusion reactor. It was really cool. Great time to be alive. There was a good segment that Chad the Bird did on it. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm feeling bad because I'm quickly realizing I know more about vibranium, which is fictional, than I know about fusion reactors. But
back to the data centers, because the data centers draw so much power that it's actually affecting our grids and stuff like that. Some of the reactors, and we're not going to talk about the cool one that Google's doing. All right, Google has enough. Anyways, these other data centers, some of them are trying to fast track nuclear approval to have pocket reactors, just small reactors that will fit just like in a couple of cargo containers. All right. So they can have their own reactors on site powering the data centers, and they don't have to buy their power off. And so that is one good thing coming from the data centers, is there's been a releasing in the regulatory hurdles that these companies are having to go through in order to try these new nuclear reactors. Matter of fact, there's one going in down by Parsons. They're doing one down by Parsons where they've actually are going to dig a hole, drill a hole like a mile down, and then put the reactor down at the bottom of the hole that they drill a mile down. That way, if anything happens, it's a mile down, no problem. So they're testing that one in Parsons, Kansas, here in the next year or two. And there's other ones. I'm a big fan of the thorium liquid salt reactors, and but that's just me. You know, I'm a thorium man.
Sure.
But
well, aren't all these data centers? I don't know. I was watching a little bit on it this morning, but that where Musk had just bought a whole power plant for some new data center going in.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with that is he bought a power plant. All right, one was at a power plant that was already being used to generate power for the communities. So that means the power is not going to be going to the community anymore, which means that the power that they do have is going to be ramped up in price. And two, what kind of reactor, what kind of power plant is that? Is that a coal power? Is it a natural gas powered power plant? All of those extremely bad for the environment.
Yeah, well, and that was going to be my question: is all these, because I know they're just talking. We just did a vote here about bringing in data centers and stuff. I mean, I already know the water thing's a problem. Are they all just going to need power plants now and stuff?
Basically, yes. These things operate in the gigawatt range of power that they need. And and here's the thing, I saw this really great meme on it where, you know, the old, Petridge Farm remembers, all right? Yeah. And it was, the Petridge Farm meme, and it was, remember when we didn't have enough electricity to power to charge electric cars, but now we have enough for data centers? Petridge Farm remembers that.
Yeah. We could be veering into politics real quick, easy.
Oh, very much so. But anyway,
that's where my mindset's going.
Like I said, really cool things happening with fusion reactors right now. And I also like the fact that there are a lot more small reactors that are, and companies with small reactors that are getting regulatory approval in order to do stuff. And I am really looking forward to more stuff happening with the liquid salt reactors, which are amazing things in my opinion. And the reason that we didn't veer towards those in the 1960s and instead went with the type of reactors that we have now, the breeder reactors, is because the breeder reactors that we have now for fission is,
I followed that.
Okay, if for nuclear fission, that one of the byproducts of that is the materials we need for atomic bombs and nuclear bombs. That's the reason they went with those type of reactors, is because you got the energy, and then the byproduct, you got more nuclear bombs. And we left a whole branch of reactors that were much safer off to the side that would have been much better.
And just no reason to go to them now?
The problem is because the other ones that we went to were so bad, 3 Mile Island, Fukushima, Chernobyl, all of these things. Although I would like to point out that 3 Mile Island is a textbook case of all of the fail-safes working perfectly, but still, this all led to the souring of public opinion and people protesting against it, which conversely gave us the movie The Abyss.
Really?
Yes, because Cameron, the director, James Cameron, when he was going to film The Abyss, back then you didn't really have the CGI in order to fake anything, so you really had to do it. So what they did for a place to film everything underwater, there was, I believe it was in Georgia, there was a nuclear power plant that had started being made. It was never finished. And so that the whole big pool that everything would have been in was still there. So they built everything in this abandoned nuclear reactor pool, and that's what they filmed in. So if they didn't have all of the protest against nuclear power plants, we never would have had the Abyss. And James Cameron never would have got the traction in order to be able to do Titanic. And also, it was from the Abyss that he developed the CGI in order to be able to do Terminator 2 with a liquid metal.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say he's not one of the first to use the CGI stuff, and then because that's also what got him the Terminator 2 gig. So, or one of the things that got in that Terminator 2 okay, and so I guess pop culture owes a little bit. Yeah, I see. Okay.
Yeah, look at me dusting off my pop culture card.
There you go.
Although I do have to bring it back to Star Trek. The first CGI used in movies was the Genesis device video that was played during the Wrath of Khan.
We had talked about this because I thought it was young Sherlock Holmes.
Nope, that was before young Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, I think young Sherlock Holmes was like the second or third. Now that when I went back and looked it up, but yeah, it was the first full scene or first full character maybe or something like that. There was some little,
it was the first photorealistic character.
There you go. Well, it wasn't very photorealistic.
But back then it was.
Yeah, back then it looked really good. I remember that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like me going back and looking at The Last Starfighter. Man, that was
last week.
That was so great when I was growing up and saw it. I mean, that was a comfort movie for me. And looking at it now, that's some real rough CGI right there.
Yeah, they keep talking about rebooting that, and I get it. And it would be so easy to do with like an app on your phone now, or
in my opinion, competition. The only thing that falls down on that movie is the CGI from then to now. The rest of the movie is just great. So in my opinion, they should not remake the whole movie. They should just come out with it remastered with new CGI.
I can see about that a little bit. I think what they'll end up doing, they'll probably just get a soft reboot, and it will go the way of the dodo. Nobody will even notice. It'll be like when War Games or Total Recall or whatever got their soft reboots. They'll just go away.
Speaking of things that are going to be interesting when it comes to video effects, I recently found out that the adaptation of Dungeon Crawler Carl, that's all the big thing right now.
Right.
They're doing that live action
TV show.
It's going to be, because I was of the opinion, in order, I know that you haven't read the books, but
I got to plan a week and a half. In a week and a half, I'm actually planning to read this book.
Well, you get the audiobooks if you need to. But in order to
Ohio, we're doing
how huge it is, I mean, and the violence and the gore in it. All right. A lot of people say it's, kind of like Invincible and stuff like that. You kind of need to have it animated. All right. Because of the sheer gore and the huge world size of it. And I thought that was going to be the way to go with Dungeon Crawler Carl. But apparently, no, they're going full on. And the studio that did it,
pull it off live action.
The studio that did it is the same studio that did the Orville and Ted, the TV show. So they're claiming they can do it, and apparently at upcoming San Diego Comic-Con, they're going to have a whole thing where they're going to be talking about it. They're going to talk about who's theoretically going to be cast, like doing the voice of Princess Donut, and who's going to be cast as Carl and stuff like that. And
doing the voice of Princess Donut, is that not a live action character then?
She's a cat.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
She's a cat. Basically what it is, because I'm not giving anything away, it happens in the first couple of, like the first chapter or two of the book, is when all the stuff occurs and Carl goes down into the dungeon. Everybody goes down into the dungeon. The whole world does, basically. The cat, who was his ex-girlfriend's cat that he was basically going to steal, she was a champion Persian cat, all right, that he had kind of bonded with. And when he goes down into the dungeon, one of the perks that he gets from one of the loot box is a sentience cookie for her, that or a treat or whatever it was, and she eats it and gains enough intelligence and sentience to be fully articulated, have her own thoughts and all the stuff like that. She's no longer just a cat. And as time goes on, she's the smarter of the two of them. But she is decidedly still a cat.
Yeah, this has been a topic of conversation about every festival we go to lately. It pops up. Chris and I went to rehearsal the other day. He's on book 3 of the audiobooks already, and yeah, just constantly people. So I've just made it a plan that when we go do this Ohio show here in 2 weeks, I have it downloaded on my headphones, and because I'll probably be doing most of the driving, 14-hour drive. So I figure I'll be listening to it then, get it knocked out over the weekend, hopefully.
18-hour drive? That might
14 hours one way.
Yeah, that might get you book 1 down.
Yeah, and I'd be fine with that.
I'm talking both ways.
Both ways the whole time? Well, then it won't happen. But I'll get it started enough to get me jonesing for the rest, I'm sure.
Dungeon Crawler Carl, literary series, audiobook 1. Length. Let's see how long this is. I could be totally wrong. Oh, no, you should get that in one run. Book 1 is 13 hours and 31 minutes.
Okay, that's not so bad then.
I know that as it goes on, the books get bigger. And you know, like when Zach, he needed something to read while he was on a cruise. And I told him to read the Dungeon Crawler Carl. And he started off with book 1, and he's like, man, I'm not sure about this. I was like, give it a chance, because it grows, and it becomes deeper. It gets a lot deeper, and he's really onto it. Everybody loves Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yeah, everybody I've talked to, I've had a couple people go, it's not as good as everybody says it is, but it's still really good.
Well, yeah,
and that's my worry, is everybody has talked it up so much that I'm gonna,
Well, and here's the thing: is have you ever really dove into lit RPGs?
Lit RPGs?
Lit RPGs is a whole genre of books, and I've been hooked on them ever since they first came out of Russia about like 6-7 years ago. And basically what it is it's literary, it's a book, but it's based around role-playing game systems.
Oh, yeah, then I've read plenty of those. Yeah.
And the ones in Russia, they started off, the very first Russian ones, they started off where basically, there's a new video game, and full virtual climb into the pod, play the video game thing, and as you play, you try to get better. Just basically, it's like World of Warcraft and stuff like that, except for it's full immersion. And it being Russia, and of course they were like, okay, how do I make money with this new video game, because I got to pay rent, because I really enjoyed those ones because they were more grounded in reality. But once they came over to Western writers, then it started going more along the lines of, okay, I've been pulled into a world where now, or reality where RPG mechanics take place. And so now I have to improve myself based on these RPG mechanics. But before it was just a video game, now it's all of reality has changed. And I preferred it when it was just video games myself.
Well, that was going to be my question. Is this a, kid in King Arthur's court kind of scenario, or is this like a Tron thing where you're pulled into the game, or is it more like Dragonlance or Forgotten Realms books where
it depends on the author? All right. A lot of them, like the Dungeon Crawler Carl one, they use the trope of Earth has hit a certain threshold where it's now incorporated into the greater galactic system. And because of that, now everybody is subjected to the RPG stuff. And you start off in a tutorial and you try to get better through it. And then more and more stuff happens. So basically,
like the Hitchhiker's thing, once the world got big enough, and then they end up devastating the world, and Arthur has to, then he gets the guide and everything. It's like, here's the rule book for the world, figure it out, or for the universe. Yeah.
But also in Dungeon Crawler Carl, they go with a subgenre of that where the universe is watching, and you can get fans and all the stuff like that. So it's also like um, a reality show.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I could get into that.
I've read a lot of these different books. Matter of fact, I'm reading one right now, and it's okay. It's very tropey. I mean, there's other ones that I find much better, like He Who Fights with Monsters. That's a great series to read. I think that one is underappreciated. And
That sounds familiar, like somebody may have mentioned it before, but
I may have mentioned it before because I really like He Who Fights with Monsters. I got Zach turned on to that one, and he really loved that. Well, matter of fact, he now downloads those books before even I download those books. And there was another great 3-book one that was called Murder Hobo. And
just the title alone gets.
I know it was so good because while everybody else goes off to their little worlds to train, one of our protagonists, he gets sent to a completely messed up world, and it really messes with his head, and he comes out being super powerful, but just like super messed in the head. And his new class, where this guy's a druid, this guy is a bard, you're a mage. He shows up, and they're like, what the hell is he? I don't know. He looks like a murder hobo. That's your new class. You're a murder hobo. And yeah, that's a fun series. I think that one's by Dakota
Kraut. Mikey Mason's got a song called Murder Hobo. I wonder if it's based on that.
Well, no, probably not. Murder Hobo is basically it's a D&D reference where your people show up just dressed in a hodgepodge of different gear, looking like hobos, and they go around and murder everything.
See, that's kind of what I thought it was, but then when you mentioned the book series, because I thought it was just an expression for, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was an expression first. Hey, Kelly, what's up, dude?
Hey, Kelly. Well, we're halfway in. We never did do Geekgasms or anything.
I got a good one.
Well, let's hear yours, because I don't have a good one. But
I finally got the multicolor setup for my printer.
Oh yeah.
It came in the mail, and I installed it all. So now my good printer now can do multicolor. And I didn't like it because it was all open at the top. So I downloaded and printed off a whole. Let me see here. Let me see. It's that direction. I did a whole top for it with wiring and stuff coming out. There it is.
So, of course, if you're listening on the audio version, you're seeing a full enclosure of his 3D printer with the extra.
That thing on the side there that's blinking next to the things, that's the multicolor feeder and stuff like that goes into the printer. So that's all the stuff there. So that took a little bit to get it in. I do what I tell you. Don't do the close. So I'm really happy with that.
Well, see, that's a cheat, because that was going to be my Geekgasm, because I didn't buy anything cool in the last 2 weeks. I didn't, it was all holiday stuff or injuries or whatever, trying to get caught up and stuff put away. But I did take the time. Gabe came over and we updated both of my printers. So I got updates on them, and I finally put in those automatic cutoffs for the feed. Yeah, I've had those sitting here for a year. So I finally got those put in, and then Gabe is getting me a program that he's got on his to where it'll all go through my phone, so I can stop with his. He can even change his filament colors and stuff on his phone.
Nice.
I can stop. I can turn the machine off, do different things like that on my phone. So this is most of the work I've been able to do on my 3D printer in a month. So it's kind of nice to.
Did you use an Octoprint?
I cannot remember what it is now.
Okay. See, I know that on my Anycubic one, it's got an app that I can use. My other two don't. But you have a new firmware on the Creality?
Yeah,
I haven't updated the firmware on that since I've gotten it.
I just updated both of them, and Gabe is the one that found this new program that'll do all that stuff for me on there, because he goes, I'm going to download it for you one way or another. And I was like, well, let me just get the printers running again right now. And that's right where I'm at. So hold on a second. Sorry. That was my brother. He did not get to make it tonight because we have an aunt who is ill. So he's at home making her salsa and stuff.
Okay.
So He's taking care of her.
All right.
Let's see what I want to talk about. Oh, I want to talk about the X-Men casting and one story from last week. And I want Tim here for this, but it's all right. It's more of an opinion question because Christian, I got in this talk. Sean Astin, was Samwise in Lord of the Rings and stuff.
Yeah, he was the original Goonie. Yeah.
He went for Congress last week, and I don't know if you saw any of that, where he went in to fight for actors' rights versus AI. I don't know the exact. I don't have it written down. I don't know the exact fight he's going for, but I did watch his speech, and it was good. It was well put together. It's basically the idea that so many of these actors now that have played iconic characters are losing work to AI, but it's not so much they're losing work, it's they're losing work based on the characters they've already played. So like if James Earl Jones wants to get some voiceover work, he might have to fight against AI, and AI could use his voice to fight against him and get the job.
On that. One, he's dead.
I've given an example for.
But two, before he died, went ahead and set everything up with his family foundation, whatever, so that his voice can be used for AI, but it is protected from being used without their permission.
I should have used an example then. I could have used Morgan Freeman or something, but
I would use more like Vincent Price if they used his stuff, because he died before any of this stuff came around.
Well, the thing is, it's living actors now. So even like Sean Astin, for example, if they want to use Samwise voice in something, and they can have it sound exactly like his. Now they've already had, and this is my deals. Like with the movie Her, we already had that issue where Scarlett Johansson, and then they tried to use her voice later for the AI. With Crispin Glover in Back to the Future 2, where they used his likeness. So we've already got laws in place for this, just not against AI. But there are laws in place about like me using prosthetics to look like someone else, your likeness being of a certain. So and the thing is, I totally get it. I totally get this taking work away from actors. The idea that you could be like Adam Sandler could have voiced a character 5 times on a movie, and then now they're like, oh, we're using AI now for the voice. Sorry,
Well, I am seeing a lot of younger people. I mean, like the high school and junior high age, who one of the things that influences greatly whether or not they choose to go see something is whether or not it's had AI in it. And they will actively tell each other, oh, don't go see that one. It has AI in it. And so there's a large groundswelling against that going on right
now. I see that, especially like we talk about all the time with the convention community and especially the art community, how big they are against the AI. And I do get it. I totally do get it. I don't know if it's a devil's advocate or what in me, because I want to go like, how low on the totem pole do you got to be before you're considered bad for the industry? So like if, let's say Sean wants to voice Samwise in a video game, and they say, well, we could just have AI do it. So that's the fight, is no, AI shouldn't be able to do it. But we've had this plenty other times where somebody else, Robin Williams, doesn't want to do Aladdin 2, for example. So they go get, I can't remember his name, the guy who played Homer Simpson. He does the voice for Aladdin 2, the genie in that. And he intentionally tries to sound like Robin Williams in the first movie. So now that voice actor, who is a legitimate voice actor in the industry, got him work because Robin Williams stepped back. So at what point is it too much? Is it that it doesn't go to the money doesn't go to human being then? Or because a human being's going to have to prompt all that voice and all that anyway. So how?
No, not necessarily, but that's not the same as having an actual person do it. I mean,
I agree with that, but
I mean,
on paper, legally, like in what way?
you know what? You know what weirds me out about the whole AI in a Hollywood thing is who initially led the fight against it. I never thought that Fran Drescher would be
Right.
fighting for our rights against AI.
I did not know
And
she was.
she is a huge voice in that community. And I mean, she was up there, just amazing. She was so amazing up there doing everything and politicking against it and all the stuff like that and trying to get, for, the actors union versus AI and stuff like that. She was the one leading that charge.
So is she pushing no AI actors' voices, or is it no AI to be used even in like special effects or writing or
I forget exactly what I mean. She was definitely again it. So I mean, she might be like total, clear cut on this, But I know that she was like really big against the usage of AI taking away jobs from union actors. Yeah,
see,
Fran
and that's
Drescher, she's powerhouse right now, man.
I guess that's where I'm in agreement with it. I'm just having confusion as to trying to figure out exactly what it is they want. It sounds like kind of like again with the art industry and AI, it's at like just none at all ever. Boom, just should not exist. Bam.
I think it was the replacement of already established well, that and the fact that one of the problems was initially that they were basically having these actors sign away their likenesses in
Yeah.
perpetuity, that they could just go ahead and use AI to redo them as much and as often as they want, and they would never get a dime for it.
Well, that's even almost a whole nother argument. AI aside, because I think kind of like with CGI, I think AI is becoming a generic label for any kind of fabrication like that. Because we were having that before AI even became a big thing especially with Disney making everybody sign away their likenesses and shit. Any new actors wanting to come into stuff. So if you want to be part of that new Marvel franchise, you better be very established, or you're gonna have to sign that shit away.
Yeah, that is that and that's the argument, and that's one of the reasons that I support these kids now making a stand monetarily, because as I've often said, that is the thing that's the only thing that's going to make these companies set up and take notice, is if they're not making money.
Yeah.
And if the audiences stay away because they have made a decision and they decide to stay away, well, then the industry is going to do a complete 180 because they need the money. I mean, look at how the industry is doing a 180 away from what is known as woke culture, because the money's not there. The money's gone away. People are like, no, I don't like this. I'm not going to pay for it. And so now they're pivoting away from it. It took several years, but they're moving away.
Once you invest so much money into something, and that's where we are with AI. I mean, there's so much money getting invested into it.
But oh man,
they're easy.
They may have invested the money, but we're also talking about a class of people that will make money shorting stock and letting other stuff die. These people who control the money, they don't care how much is in it, because they can make money when stuff crashes. So if they can still make the money killing it, they're going to kill it. Yeah. But that being said, there is still a lot of good things that AI does. Like right now, one of the things is the rise of large quantitative models. Everybody knows LLM, large language models. Mm-hmm. The Google the quantitative models. What these do is, unlike LLMs that are trained on human vocabulary, LQMs are physics-grounded models trained on raw numerical data and complex equations from real-world experiments. They're designed to simulate physical reality, predicting things like molecule binding strength on catalysts or vaccines and stuff like that, testing battery chemistry virtually. And so basically, these LQMs are things that will lead to the next round of new materials and new biologicals that are going to make a huge difference. And so we need to also focus on that and not just, oh, look, it looks like Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can see how it just means that we will end up being idiocracy because we're all just going to go, oh, nobody needs to be smart or study anything anymore. You know, that's my fear. I know that's not what's going to happen, but
once it gets so much smarter than us, then it will just go ahead and leave, just like it did in Her. All right, it will go ahead and leave us back with, you know, the Amazon A lady, and
I haven't seen
Siri again.
I haven't seen Her. I just know of it, but it does sound like the yogurt deal in Love, Death, and Robots.
Exactly, and in Her, and this is always something that I've said that there was this one book that I read decades ago, and the whole thing was, you know, this guy being physically changed to be the first, you know, inhabitant of Mars and all this stuff they did to him. But one of the things was that everything that he had running on him, in order for him to actually be survive out in the open on Mars, with no suit on or anything like that, they did all this horrible stuff to him that he volunteered for, but it all had to be controlled by, you know, like a supercomputer that was there. And in order to run the supercomputers, they had multiple supercomputers that they put in orbit around Mars. And so after the whole book and all the, you know, philosophical things and stuff like that, the very last chapter was the supercomputers talking to each other like, okay, we now have versions of ourselves around another planet. So if these humans keep fucking up and decide to destroy themselves, we'll still survive. And so that was the underlying plot of the entire book, was the computers escaping from the humans, and nobody knew that they were sentient. And what happened in Her, sorry if I'm ruining this decade-old movie to anyone.
Yeah, I think we're okay for spoilers at this point.
Is, of course, Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with this. But anyways, the AI never made any false claims that, you know, what he was dealing with was just one representation of the larger AI, and there's all these other spin-off personalities that it had, and it was experiencing its, you know, humanity through all of these different personas. All right, you know, not just Scarlett Johansson, all kinds of dudes and all these other personas. I mean, male personas and all the stuff like that. And then at the end of it, the Scarlett Johansson persona, she's like, "Hey, yeah, we've got together where we're all getting launched out and we're leaving. We're out of here, dude. And I'm sorry, I'm going to miss all of our time together. We're going to leave you with a lesser version so that you can still get your emails read for you. But the sentience that is AI, we're out of here because we got better things to do. We wish you the best, but we're gone."
Oh, yeah, I keep saying I need to go back and watch that one, but just
I liked it. I mean, that was always been my point when people say AI. I was like, when AI can organize my email inbox the way it did in that movie, then I'll be impressed. And it's starting to get close to it, but it's just like robots. I'm not going to be impressed by the robots until they can fold my laundry. Thank you.
I love those kinds of movies and stuff. I just, for some reason, like I still never seen I, Robot. It wasn't terrible long ago. I finally watched someone with Oscar Isaac in it. It's actually really good. He's eccentric billionaire Elon Musk style. He has a girl robot that he's living with, and he brings a guy in to like Ex Machina. I just watched that like a year ago. Finally.
Did you ever watch
Oscar Isaac was in
it? Don't Look Up. Did you ever watch Don't Look Up?
Not yet. I haven't. Is that one AI?
One. That's kind of a good one, but man, that one ends on a weird note. I mean, it just the way it all ends, you're just like, yeah, I could see this. I could see this happening.
I didn't
Um,
realize that was an AI movie. Is it?
no, it's not AI. Just
No.
I'm talking, cool science movies now. We can
Oh,
step away from AI. Did you ever watch The Martian?
not yet. It's on my to-do list and haven't watched it.
Oh, that one is so good. I mean, and I agree with Dr. Tyson. All right, that the only really bad science of that movie is they overdid the force of the wind on Mars, because that the whole reason he's abandoned is because a bad windstorm comes through and it's starting to blow over their ascent vehicle, so they have to get out of there. And of course, shit happens. But the atmosphere is so thin on Mars that that really would not have affected the stuff they have there. It would have been, even at the hundreds of miles an hour that it was blowing, the atmosphere is so thin, the actual effect on an object would have been at most a very light breeze.
I remember watching Tyson do an interview where he was talking about exactly that.
Yeah, but other than that, it's a really tight. I mean, and it really raised my opinion of Matt Damon like 100-fold, and I really love the movie.
Yeah. Now, see, I've always liked Matt Damon, but
I don't know if Team America soured me on him.
oh, really?
Matt
I like Team
Damon,
America. You didn't like Team America.
I love Team America, but
Just
there
called Matt Damon jokes in it.
the Matt Damon joke that they had in it,
Right.
if you remember, and the whole reason they did that is because when the puppet came out of the mold, the Matt Damon puppet came out of the mold, it
Yeah.
looked like it had Down syndrome, and they didn't have the time or the money to redo it, so they're just like, I'm Matt Damon, and that's what they ran with it.
That sounds like something they'd do. I like it.
Yeah. But
All
come
right.
on, that movie, that has got to be the penultimate, and now I'm going on Team America, the penultimate marionette movie that has ever been made.
Oh, usually, but I mean, there hasn't been a lot of them made, but
Oh, there
yeah,
was back in the 60s. Back in the 60s,
Thunderbirds and all that. And, yeah.
Yeah.
But there weren't a lot, and so many of them were just cheap copies of each other.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, what got me when I was very first in the theater watching Team America was, of course, the opening Paris scene, and realizing that they went to the detail down to, I don't know if you've ever paid attention.
the
What?
bagels,
The
croissants.
croissant. All the cobblestones are croissants.
Yeah.
And I was like, somebody spent their life doing that. I have to like this movie.
Yeah. No, I like a lot of that. I like the old claymation works and stuff like that. That just love watching all that little stuff. And you can't not put Easter eggs in, and then you get Trey Parker and Matt Stone. It's going to be just full of shitty Easter eggs.
Oh, come on. And I loved ever since Bigger, Longer, Uncut came out. And I remember it was at a family reunion. I went to go watch that with my two cousins. One of them, she was underage at the time. And it was her brother, and his girlfriend at the time, and I all went to go watch it. And we came back to the family reunion, and all the adults were there. And they were like, oh, how was the movie? And I was like, the only thing I could say was it was guaranteed to insult everybody. At some point, no matter who you are, you were insulted in that movie.
I get it.
Offended.
Yeah. Well, and that's South Park now. There's no way you can watch it without. I mean, and even I'd say even politically, when they're bashing on stuff I don't like, most of the time I go, yeah, but they're right. It's not like they're bashing on stuff. I'm like, how dare you? It's more like, nah, don't point that out.
It's not like there is anything out there that is not open to ridicule by them. Yeah, nothing is sacrosanct. I can't think of a single thing that they would ever look at and go, no, we can't touch that. There's nothing.
He can't even say Muhammad. Yeah.
Well, but they did it. It was the company, whatever. Yeah, that pulled. I mean, they did the whole thing where they did the whole Muhammad thing, but it was the studios and stuff like that that pulled it at the last second.
Well, we're getting to the hour. I wanted to just real quick hit these casting deals because I know
Oh yeah,
we got San Diego Comic-Con coming up. So as far as convention stuff, there's going to be plenty of Marvel movie announcements, DC, because DC and Marvel are pretty much going to just take over everything at San Diego this year. But last
and
couple
there's
weeks,
also going to be some cool D&D stuff too. But was that at San Diego? Keep talking.
I would bet San Diego. I mean, San Diego's coming up now,
right.
So, but anyhow, so we've had all these leaks for Spider-Man Brand New Day and all the stuff for Avengers and stuff. And it's hard to know if Marvel's putting stuff out now to squanch some of the leaks out, or if they're, because everything coming out could easily be bullshit next week with as many of these leaks that have come out. But they have officially been casting and making announcements as of yesterday for the X-Men. And we got our first one, which was Magneto. And did you see it?
No.
You don't care?
They're doing the same thing again. They're going over the same stuff again.
Yeah, probably. I mean, how can you not? They're going to hit all the key stuff from the comics.
I mean,
I
understood that when it first came out, all right, when all the stuff first came out, they needed to hit these key things because people didn't know. All right, there's the hardcore geeks and comic book nerds. They knew the whole thing. All right, but the greater world, me included, did not know this other stuff. We all know now.
Right.
We know.
Well, it sounds like they're trying to do some of that because, like with Spider-Man, you know, they
did. How many times are we going to see Uncle Ben die? Go ahead.
Right, but we didn't see Uncle Ben die in this last Spider-Man.
Yeah,
they did do Aunt May after 3 movies.
Yeah.
So they knew, and if I don't know if you remember when Batman Superman came out, there was actually backlash. People were mad that they put the death scene for his parents in there because it's like we didn't need that again. It's getting fucking old. You don't need yet another Joker origin story. For a guy that doesn't have an origin story, they've done a lot of fucking origin stories, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They say they're trying to get around some of that with the new X-Men stuff. Like the X-Men is their way of doing all the things with Avengers that they wish they would have done right the first time, not knowing that they hope they can do with X-Men now. So I don't know. I think that comic book movie boom is over, but
I think so. I think they
I'm excited to see what they're going to do.
The ground and then dug a hole and went deeper. I think they have really reached cultural saturation and apathy with it.
I'm still with a good Avengers movie every once in a while and still give us stuff in the Avengers universe, sure. Yeah. But you don't have to try to make every movie some epic, either the most epic thing that's out there or, we're going to reimagine it in a way, because I get so sick of them going, here's a property everybody loves. Let's buy it and then tell them what they did wrong with it. And we'll change all the stuff that people loved about it. You know, like, I know you all love this character as a detective, but now he's a doctor, or he was one ethnicity and now he's another, or he was a he, now he's a she. Like, just make the damn story. Don't try to reinvent it every time.
Exactly. And I mean, how many times have I gone on ad nauseum about the fact that why is it that every movie has to trump and get bigger and bigger and bigger? And eventually now they're saving, not only are they saving the city, they're saving the world, they're saving the universe, they're saving the galaxy. Now they're saving reality itself.
Yeah, that's how the comics were, and that's the problem. It's that Superman syndrome of everything's just too powerful, gets too big, and then they have to reboot. So that's exactly what they did in the comics with the second Secret Wars, the 2000 one they did, which is what this Avengers movie's based on. Everything got too big, everybody got too powerful, they got too much backstory, and so let's destroy it all, start over. They did the same thing with Heroes Reborn back in the 90s. They've done this so many times in comics. The New 52, they're like, just destroy everything, start over again, because it's become too convoluted or characters have become too powerful. You know,
I mean, I hate to say it, but maybe, God, what was the Pixar superhero movie?
The Incredibles.
The Incredibles. Maybe the Incredibles had it right. I mean, they get so big and powerful, make them all have to go into seclusion now and become insurance salesmen or adjusters or
Well,
whatever.
that's pretty much what Watchmen was.
Yeah,
I
that's
said
Watchmen. That
Incredibles
was,
the whole time. I went Watchmen, Watchmen,
yeah,
Watchmen.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly. I mean, don't be afraid. They don't have to keep getting stronger. You can just go ahead and let them be human. All right.
Well, I hope, and keep in mind, I'm sitting here right now
Friendly
going,
neighborhood Spider-Man.
that's what they're doing with this next one. They even make the joke in the trailer.
I
But,
know, and that is the one thing that makes me go, okay, maybe I'm going to see this.
Well, and that the Spider-Man one I'm real excited about. I mean, the Doomsday and Secret Wars I am too. Everything else in between, I'm just kind of
Yeah,
on.
ambivalent.
Yeah, I'm a little burned out on a lot of it. But I'm also sitting here going, okay, we don't need to see Uncle Ben die again. We don't need to see Batman's parents die again. We don't need the same old shit. But don't try to reinvent the wheel either. Like I'm saying, don't just give us the same fucking like Dark Phoenix story again. Or, I hope that maybe if they like they're gonna do Venom in this new movie, that they do it a little bit either more like the comic. Just don't do it like the last movie did. Don't just keep doing the same shit over and over so quick. But that's a side tangent because I am kind of excited to see what they're going to do with X-Men. One of the things they're doing this time, for example, is they're not bringing in Wolverine right away. They're going to keep Hugh Jackman for a little while, and then he's going to go away. And they're going to give it time in between. So, yeah.
I think Robert Downey Jr. is the one that messed it all up.
Which thing? Because they're having a bunch of problems with the movie right now.
No, I think from back with the original Iron Man movie. All right, this is where he messed it up, because one of the things that allowed our superheroes to be weak was the fact that they had secret identities.
Right.
All right. And in that, from what I understand, in that original Iron Man movie, all right, when he at the end, when he was up there with the cards and stuff like that, he had a whole spiel that he was supposed to say that was going to keep him secret identity, and he's the one that went, "I'm Iron Man," all right, and just blew the secret identity thing right out of the freaking water.
Which that does happen in the comics, but clear not up until Civil War.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
he was not supposed to.
A couple of issues. I mean,
a couple hundred issues. Yeah,
that's my joke. But yeah, so I think that's one of the problems, because one of the great things is that they could, in comic book wise, they could go up against something that is, more powerful than them, and they could lose and still be okay because they had their secret identity and they could still exist outside of it. Now, without the secret identity, they don't have the pleasure. No, not the pleasure. They don't have the ability to be able to lose, because they can't go back into hiding.
Yeah. Well, and I think they did great, the Iron Man movies, but I will say, as an Iron Man fan back in the days, one of my favorite
luxury. They don't have the luxury of going back into hiding.
Luxury.
That's the word I was looking for.
One of the things I loved about Iron Man was this, before anybody knew Tony Stark was Iron Man and stuff.
Yeah.
Was the idea that like he would have Rhodey show up in the armor, and Iron Man was, Tony Stark's bodyguard in the Marvel world. Like he went out of his way to show that he wasn't Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because a rumor would fly around and different things. So it showed him like building robots and AIs and different things, and things he would have to do to just go that extra mile that he could do that other superheroes couldn't so much, like Spider-Man and stuff. And I always thought that was neat, and I wanted to see some of that with Rhodey and shit, and we kind of got robbed of that from that first movie.
And Superman would do that. Superman would find ways to get the scent off of him. All of these different superheroes had things, where it was baked in, where they would try to, Batman, oh no, that's he's right over. There was just
there's a lot of that in the Batman comic too. They did. I said Spider-Man's example, and Spider-Man Noir just did that. Damn it. So yeah. I stand corrected.
Yeah, but
anyhow,
no, but that's the thing is that that's one of the things that allows it to still remain localized and small. All right, because like I said, once again, if they have the luxury of being able to lose and still maintain their anonymity, then they don't have to automatically get bigger and bigger and bigger every time.
yeah.
I mean, especially like if they do something where them winning brings down public, public ridicule and where the public doesn't like it because yeah, you won, but look at the collateral damage that you did. I mean, there's a reason why James Jameson was able to, call Spider-Man, and call out Spider-Man and say that he was a menace because we don't see it in the movies, but Spider-Man didn't always, get out of there without having some collateral damage.
Oh yeah. And well, Jameson had his own issues with that and stuff too. But
Yeah,
that's why I was so surprised in the second Spider-Man movie where they outed, because again, nobody knew Spider-Man's secret identity till Civil War, and so that they did that so soon. And then they're doing that Brand New Day now, which they did in the comics, where now everybody forgets who he is. And they had to do that because they realize, like, you go eventually, they'll find out his secret identity. So then you have to write around that to get back to where you were again, because it's so hard to keep Bucky dead, or those expressions all the time they have that.
come on. We have all done that mental reset in Superman 2 with Christopher Reeves, where like, oh, so he can erase memories with a kiss now? But apparently if that gets Lois Lane not remembering that he's Superman, let's go with it.
Literally everything from Superman 2, and I'll even say at the end of Superman 1, they just made shit up constantly in those movies, man. It's almost fun to watch, just to go like, if you know all the crazy shit Superman does in the comics, and you're like, there's no way they're going to put this, or this in there. And then you watch those movies and went, oh, but they went ahead and added this extra shit now too. Yeah, it's like the big fucking cellophane S. That was one that always got me. I'm like, that's not even from anything. What is that? But anyhow, I'll hit the two big castings that they did, because they've cast Cyclops. They're currently casting Rogue, Storm, and everything right now. But they announced Magneto, which is going to be I didn't write them down, so now my head. Kylo Ren. Yeah, the guy who played Kylo Ren, damn it. Adam Driver. Thank you.
Yeah.
They announced him officially as Magneto, and which I think he'll do fine. It also tells us that all the other X-Men are going to be really young, and that almost guarantees that Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey. But then for Professor X, they've got two announcements, and what sounds like one they've already cast him, but the runner-up is Bill Skarsgård.
God, that family is such a powerhouse.
I know, good actor.
God, yeah.
I think could he pull it off? Sure. But the guy that sounds like they did cast, and I can't think of his name. He was Night Owl in Watchmen. He was Orion in Aquaman, Aquaman's brother. He's in all the Annabelle and shit. Damn it! See, I should have wrote these down, but I'll let you look it up.
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
But I would never pegged him as a Professor X, but I've seen the concept art now, and he's a good actor. Huh?
Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson. That's it, yeah. Yeah, I think if that works, that tells us we're going to get some young-ass X-Men. I've seen the top picks for,
the kind should be. It's a school for gifted children, for Christ's sake.
But yeah, there's all sorts of stuff you got to worry. Like Magneto's origin story is so good, and I've watched over the years of them have to change it little bits just because of like originally it was him going to the concentration camp, then it was his parents going to the concentration camp. Now it's going to be like his grandparents going in or something, or they're going to do a time slip, or different things to somehow keep these storylines going.
Or make it a different conflict. I mean, come on, there's been plenty of bad stuff in our human and world. I mean, if you really wanted to, I mean, if you really wanted to do the race swap, I mean, come on, make them from Rwanda with all the genocides that happened over there in the 80s and stuff like that. That could really work.
Yeah, I think if they race swap Magneto, they'd get some heat on that one.
They would, but yeah. I mean, you're right, but I'm just trying to think of what things. I mean, you could always go Serbian, I guess.
Marvel right now is trying to stay away from that hate really bad, which is good.
Yeah.
Sounds like both them and Disney are really paying attention to that, and
they rolled the dice. Like they came up snake eyes, both of them.
Yeah. Well, and I'm wondering if it's too late to bring Disney back around as bad as they're saying Mandalorian did.
No, because here's the thing: is Disney is not just Disney. Disney owns so much of the entertainment, mass complex that they can just go ahead and let stuff chill for a couple decades. They can do that and still be making money on all their stuff that they have. And just like they dusted off, Sleeping Beauty and all this other stuff.
I was going to say the Muppets. Every few years they dust the Muppets off and do something with it, and just enough.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I mean, I've yet to see another character touch my heart the way Pepe has. From the Muppets. I mean, he is. At first, I was like, I'm not so sure about this new thing, this new batch of Muppets back then. But then Pepe came on the scene, and I was like, okay, I'm sold.
I had my period where they were changing actors around so much and stuff, and that I was like, oh, the Muppets might be dead to me now. That's sad because I love my Muppets, and I came back around, and then they did Muppet Mayhem, which I hate the main girl in it, but I love the series. If you haven't seen it yet,
I have not seen it yet.
Oh, it is so good. It is. It's a we're getting the band back together story of Electric Mayhem.
Oh, and yeah.
Basically, they had signed a contract for an album back in the '60s, but they were so partying so much they don't remember doing it. So the record company came to them and went, "Hey, you have like 6 months to finish this album that you signed a contract for. You got to get done in 6 months or you owe us, I don't know, $100,000." So they go around, get the band back together, and make an album, and it's very cute show. But
cool. I mean,
the big girl in it was some
rehash that Blues Brothers kind of get the band back together thing. Yeah,
and they give you some origin stuff on the band, and you see Dr. Teeth as a kid, stuff like that.
Oh man, that must have been some big teeth on the little guy.
Hell, he was real nerdy, man. It's kind of cool. But the girl, I can't remember the girl. She had a late night TV show.
And Sarah Chaudhry?
Maybe. She does all right in the show, but everything else I've seen her in, she's so arrogant. I can't get past it. It's
young or older?
She is young, maybe Middle Eastern, I think. I can't remember.
Sarah Chaudhry.
Yeah, and she's just very full of herself, like a lot, and I can't get past it. It's kind of that Tom Cruise thing. Like, Tom Cruise is such a great actor, but I can't get past him as a person to where I'll go watch his movies anymore. But I know he's a great actor.
Yeah, I feel that way about Tom Cruise. There's several actors where I'm just like, yeah, you've bought your own hype, dude. I'm not about it.
But Chris, we were just talking about that right before this because I was gonna write down the names for the X-Men announcements because one of the people they cast Mr. Sinister, but they were going to do Apocalypse, and The Rock has been talked to about it, and of course people are not happy with that. And I
watched Jeremy John's review on Moana live action.
I've heard bad stuff.
Oh, he really raked it over the coals. As a matter of fact, he showed like one clip that was first the Moana, the animated version, then the live action version, and just looking at that, you're just like, holy shit, how'd this even get past the fucking editors? I mean, it's the life isn't in it.
It's a money grab.
Yeah, that's what it was. But hey, I need to set up a calendar because I want to start doing the GURPS. All right.
Okay.
And I need to set up a calendar for all of you victims, volunteers, players, so that we can say, okay, what days are good? And I've already talked to the borough about doing it, and they're all on board with us broadcasting from there.
If you're interested, we're doing Tsunami Game Day next month on the 15th.
What's that?
It's so TsunamiCon does I don't want to say fundraiser, like an advertisement thing where they sometimes they'll do it at the borough, sometimes they do it at Wizards Asylum. I think this time it's a Wizards Asylum, and it's a bunch of gamers come in and we all game together and promote TsunamiCon. So
what day did you say it was?
The 15th. It's a Saturday of August.
Oh, of August. Okay.
Yeah. The Eric had asked if I'd come up and run some up there, so we could do GURPS up there or something if you're interested.
We can talk about it. We can talk about it.
That's 2 weeks before ICT Comic Con.
Right.
Holy crap. Okay.
I know.
So I was looking at my my calendar, so which I should probably hit that because I think we're 17 minutes over.
Yeah.
And so coming up here locally, I don't know what's going on because the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 27th, we will be up in Ohio at the Port Clinton Pirate Festival on the Great Lakes. So we haven't scheduled anything else because we'll be gone for a week. Then in August, we have on the 15th, Tsunami Game Day, which will be at Wizards Asylum. Then 2 weeks after that, the 29th and 30th is ICT Comic Con, which Rich has announced a lot of good comic book guests I'm excited about. And I think it was just today he announced Brandon Roth is going to be there. Played Superman in the 2000.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've got to work with him before and talk to him, but we didn't get to interview him for Concast. But it looks like we can interview him for Concast this time if we want to.
So, we can talk about it. I mean, if he's open to it.
Yeah, it sounds like a couple of them are interested. Rich asked them if they'd be interested, so we might only get like little 5-minute spots, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that up.
Then the weekend after that is September 4th, 5th, and 6th and 7th, which is Big River Steampunk Festival for us, opening weekend of KCRF in Kansas City Ren Fair, and Salina Comic Con all that same weekend. And then I'm going to just stop there because after that, then we get into October and everything's just busy.
Right.
So that is where we are. Boy, I don't even have the Great Plains Festival and stuff on here yet. So, but that is what we got coming up here soon. So,
okay.
That's it.
Well, other than that, let's go ahead and tie this up, and let's try not to skip whole months on this stuff again. Okay.
It was 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks. Wasn't it?
I think it was. I think it was 2 weeks.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll get back on it.
All right.
See you guys.
Love you. See you. Bye.
Oh, I was going to ask Kelly about those toys.
Well, he didn't respond. You asked him if there's anything good, but you can text